Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of my McLaren Return to Glory. Today we're here for the Singapore Grand Prix, round number 15 of the season, and we are here hoping to have a good weekend because this track was actually pretty good to us last season. We got a podium here in season 1, so this could be one of our better tracks unless the AI are a bit too strong, which was the case in the last episode at Monza. If you haven't seen it, link in the top right, guys. Spoiler warning. Yeah, go watch it because a lot happened and it was a pretty insane race. But yeah, we had a bit of a rough time last time out, and besides having some AI issues, we snagged a P3 daylight robbery out of nowhere. And, you know, starting P15, I think it was, or P14, the fact we got a podium was an incredible turnaround. So we arrived here this weekend in pretty high spirits. Now, we have no upgrades on the car. We haven't been able to put any upgrades on the car, as it is a short turnaround between races, and we don't have enough points to purchase upgrades. So nothing changes for us in these kind of races. And also you can see other teams around us, including Ferrari, have taken a step forward, as Aston Martin are the top dogs in terms of the performance chart. Now, if we look at the championship, we are only 6 points away from third place in the Drivers' Championship. Lando is 9 points away from the top 8, and as for us, we are only 18 points away from P2, we're 15 points away from P3, so there's a real chance this season we could get some decent results. And Monza, a race in which Lando Norris picked up the win and we got P3, like I said, we arrive here in super high spirits, and we're going to see, you know, in contrast to Monza, this track is the complete opposite. If our car can compete and actually, you know, stack up against some of the others. So practice actually went really well. We had genuinely good pace, super good tyre wear, which was also a great factor, and fuel consumption wasn't too shabby to say. This is, I believe, the most amount of gear changes in a lap. So yeah, overall, a very good start to the weekend, and things are looking good. I'm actually feeling so confident that I'm going to backtrack on my engine components and run pretty much the oldest ones available to try and see if I can extend the life of these engines and leave, you know, the fresher ones to the end of the season for the final races when it really matters, and we'll be fighting for those crucial positions in the championship. So we're going to try and push through this weekend with an old engine. So practice done, we bring our total up to 3,500 points, which we should be able to get some decent stuff with that at the start of the next episode. We get some discounts as always, although not really super productive anymore, though to be fair, quite a lot of them are on the engine, which is quite nice. But we're going to jump into qualifying and we're going to see exactly, you know, what we're looking at pace wise, what the scenario is, and what realistically we're looking at this weekend in terms of pace and objectives. So Q1 time, that's going to be the first objective as our TV monitor floats through the car. And yeah, we're going to crack on. So soft tyres on for now. This is our banker lap and first time run in Q1. As you know, I like to go for 2 timed laps on the first run. So this is my first time on the soft tyres, to be honest with you, altogether. And it wasn't a perfect lap. There was a big mistake at the hairpin where I ran wide. So there's time to find. But across the line, 35.6, P3, a couple of tenths off, and a purple sector 3, which is really encouraging. You can see my middle sector is at 37, which is a bit slower than some of those around us, and that's where I made a mistake. So I think we might actually be safe looking at these lap times. We've got a pretty nice margin to P15, 16. So yeah, as you can see, we go through P13, which looks a lot more scary than what it was. We had half a second in our pocket over Magnussen and Zhou. So yeah, the car working well. The field is really, really compact, really close. And it's going to be a close qualifying, this one. So into Q2 then, and every corner, every 10th is going to matter, and it's going to be key. Now, we, of course, only went for one single flying lap on that Q1 run. I didn't even need the second lap, which I've done the entire series so far. So I'm actually using that exact same tyre now at the start of Q2, but you can see we made a big mistake of that final right-left chicane, and it was super scruffy. We go P6, even with that error, a 135.5, but we know there's time to find in that particular chicane, that little right-left before the final corner. So yeah, we're going to try again, clean up the lap, fresh set of tyres, and we're going to get on our way and look to improve. So sectors 1 and 2, I'll be honest, there's not a lot in them. I feel like I hit them pretty decently, felt really, really good, and pretty much on the limit, even on a used tyre. It's just that final sector needs a bit of work. So yeah, currently making our way through turn 4, getting a relatively decent exit, and we're more or less even with our previous lap in sector 1. So no change as expected. In the split, we are just down a fraction on Perez. Sector 2 then underway. We actually take a bit too much inside curb through turn 6. Too much inside curb, lose a tenth and a half, which was a genuine mistake there, costing me some time. We do pull some of it back though through turn 8, and now starting to recover the lap time as we make our way pretty much well into sector 2 now. This chicane, very tricky. We just avoid the wall on the left there, getting very close through the Anderson Bridge into the hairpin. This is where I made my mistake in Q1 by outbraking myself and running deep. Now onto the back straight, opening the DRS as we get ready for another heavy brake zone to start off sector 3, late on the brakes, and this is now where we start to make up time because my previous lap wasn't the best. And you can see we're 2 tenths up, now into another chicane, this time a right-left, and then we're going to head into a left-right. We're losing a bit of time, to be fair.
30 seconds left in the session.
Through that sequence, which definitely wasn't ideal, but now you can see through here we're starting to really find the lap time. And this is the one where the big mistake was on the first run, and now we're nearly, we are over 6 tenths up as the lap time is just constantly falling. And now across the line, it's a 1:34.9 purple in sector 3, and that will do very nicely to move into Q3. And yeah, P5, Lando P8, both cars into the final part qualifying. Mercedes setting the tone, setting the pace, and they seem to be the ones to beat around here with their car. So yeah, we're going to try and see what we can do in Q3, but the good news, both cars are in. I think I've got a bit more pace to find. You know, definitely that mistake we made earlier on the lap in turn 6 is a tenth and a half or so, and a few little mini errors here and there. So we can definitely find a couple of tenths, and then also track evolution will play a part. So because of qualifying, I've saved a set of tyres. We have 2 fresh softs to run in this session. So this first lap is actually going to be very good on the money already, and we actually pretty much nailed it across the line. 34.3 benchmark set as we go 6 tenths quicker than Q2, and provisional pole heading on to the final runs. What a lap, what a final sector as well, into the 31s and really laying down the benchmark for this final run, which guys, I'll let you enjoy, and we'll see if we can secure potentially a pole position. Yes, pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix. What a lap, what a final attempt into the 133s, a 133.9, a full second quicker than what we done at the end of Q2. Lando P5 in the top 5, and we beat the Mercedes cars, and this is very interesting. Lando won the last race in Monza, we got a P3, and now we're in a position to hopefully win again, but this time in my hands. It's going to be key. The race start is going to be everything, and we have to get away well. If we have a good race, if we win, you know, similar situation to Zandvoort, we had the Mercedes behind us and we bagged, of course, that surprise pole position. We could be on for the win, but we're going to have to defend hard, race hard, and try to be clean and not get caught in incidents. But guys, what a session. Let's get into the race and let's see if we can finally secure the W, unlike in Zandvoort.
Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. We're here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit today, located in the heart of Singapore. The circuit consists of 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right. It's a track that's incredibly technical, so don't expect to see the drivers taking too much of it at full throttle. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Martinez lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Sainz, Norris, Leclerc, Bottas, Verstappen, Perez, Ocon, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Magnussen, Zhou, Tsunoda, De Vries, Sargent, Théo Pourchaire, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And joining me again for the race today, Natalie Pinkham. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? That was a great podium in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Here we go then. Time for the race at Singapore. P1, pole position. What a qualifying, what a lap we delivered. And I want to win this race badly. You know, we got an insane result in Monza. I go back to Zandvoort, man. Zandvoort, if we could have just got a podium in that race, if we win today, it would really put us in the mix for the championship. Anyway, strategy for this one is going to be a medium to hard tyre. The medium is the race tyre to be on. I want to make sure we have a very good first stint. Track position's key, so hopefully this works out. The key thing here is fuel. Now, I've done my calculations based off the race strategy program. It's about 48.7 kg of fuel for the race, so we're going for 49 kg, which should be fine, which equates to 33.3 laps. As for tyres, yeah, I'm happy with this. I think it's going to work well. Setup for the car we're going to keep unchanged. And yeah, the key thing here is getting a good start. Get a good start, get to turn 1 first, and then hopefully get a good exit out of turn 4 onto the back straight. And then from pretty much that point on, it's smooth sailing. And it's about defending, keeping track position, and making our car wide. Russell's behind. Hopefully, it's not a repeat of Zandvoort, which ended in controversy. And yeah, I'll leave the video linked in the top right to see what happened in that one. But I'm hungry to win. I'm going to try my hardest, make my car super wide, and defend like mad. I want this win. I want the 25 points, possibly 26. So let's get into it, and let's send it. Here we go. Let's get to it. This start is key, just like in Monaco. Not the best start. Hamilton.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Contact. Hamilton running wide. Russell down a P5, the championship leader. Lando up to P3, which is brilliant. I'd love to see Lando get second. Really good exit out turn 4. That's going to take the pressure off, although Hamilton closing rapidly. We're going to have to defend the inside. We are very slow on the straight. I'm running a super high downforce setup, but we keep the inside covered and we stay in front for now. Hamilton, of course, is second in the championship behind George Russell, so it's the lesser of the two Mercedes evils if he were to finish higher up. But the key target for me is that Russell scores the least amount of points possible if we want to have any chance at maybe having a late challenge for this championship. Hopefully Lando can challenge Hamilton up the inside out of nowhere. That caught me off guard. Had to get out of it. Hopefully didn't get any damage from that. Lando now looking to challenge him, but it looks like Hamilton's going to hold on. Let's try and get a focus hat on here, try and see if I can push a little bit and push the pace and get a gap and break the RS. That's going to be the key thing here. I may struggle to charge batteries as we're on very high wings. Let's push on then, let's get to work. Sector 3 is my strong sector, so we've got to use it. This track is about rear tyre preservation, so try and do the best I can to not really get any rear wheel spin and keep it nice and tidy. Captain Hamilton now a second as we enter Sector 3, which is my strongest sector, so I think we've done enough here to get a gap to the 7-time champion. We'll find out now as we get through these final chicanes if we've done enough. We're also actually pretty strong in Sector 1. We just lose time on those straight, but we're actually really fast in the corners, so I'll be able to get my gap extended a bit more. You can see now the gap 1.3 seconds as DRS will now be enabled.
Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
We're really strong through turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's just the back straight where we lose a couple of tenths, but look at that, we've got the gap. Crucially, Lando is within Hamilton's DRS, so hopefully they can keep themselves busy and we can basically drive off into the sunset. But job done, we've broken DRS, that's exactly what I was looking for. Oh, that was close. Hit the curb at the wrong angle. Car did not like that one bit. Lost a chunk of time there to Hamilton. Sainz is also...
Okay, we're looking at some gearbox wear, so try to keep the number of shifts to a minimum, please.
Yeah. Sainz also had his DRS broken by Lando, which is great, so I'd love to see Lando challenge Hamilton. Yellow flag.
Okay, safety car deployed, safety car's been deployed. Watch your delta, make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack.
Right, so I think it's too early to stop. Hard tyres at the end aren't really the option, I don't think, looking at tyre wear, so we'll stick with this, keep track position. Not bad the pace so far, but we're not super quick. It's very, very close. We just have to make sure we break DRS and then we just hold it there. Hamilton's got very good pace. Lando can't quite overtake him, but Russell sitting in the P5, not really making progress, so it's not terrible. Let's see if anyone pits. I don't think anyone will pit. I think it's too early to do so. We'll get a replay of that incident up as well to see exactly what happened. There's some sort of lock-up maybe, incident to the hairpin. Either way. Little safety car here to neutralise the race, but also save some fuel, so that will no longer be a concern. Some cars have pitted actually, one of them being a Red Bull, so not sure who that is, but we'll see, because that's probably a 2-stop. So they may be ahead once we stop, but then they'll have to stop again anyway. Here we go then, time for the restart. The safety car driving off, we get to control it. Sector 3 is where we are strongest, so just going to wait for when we can get the signal. We've got good tyre temp, at least 90 degrees Celsius. But yeah, just waiting now for the safety car to drive off, trying to keep some brake temp, which keeps the tyres warmed up. Wait for it, wait for it. Yeah, going to be in full power here, so important to try and break away, like now. Bit of a more sprinty restart, but good reaction, good breakaway as we get a gap straight away. Let's see if we can stay ahead on the back straight. Hamilton's going to be very dangerous with full power on this restart, so we're not out of the woods just yet. As you saw on lap 1, still danger. Nicely done there, out of turn 3. Turn 4, a little bit too much inside curve, but that's okay. Good exit. I reckon we're going to be okay. Hamilton now rapidly closing. That's not going to be enough, so we hold on. Nice. Right, back to work. Let's try and get that formation going. So break DRS. Hopefully Norris sits behind Lewis and manages to also drop Sainz at the same time. That was the perfect order before. 39.0, not bad at all. Decent restart lap. Already broken Hamilton's DRS, which is exactly what I wanted. Let's keep pushing here now. Gap now over 2 seconds as DRS is going to be re-enabled. Hamilton's got good pace.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
Hamilton dropping Lando, Lando dropping Sainz. Hopefully Lando can get back in. Oh, big moment there. First signs of some rear tyre wear kicking in. Myself and Lewis are very similar. Right, we're going to pit this lap. A very good first in. Good race management. Lando has dropped back a bit. Also, so has Sainz, and Russell hasn't been able to get by. We'll see now which Mercedes is going to pit first. That's going to be really important. Lando's going to have to go one more lap. I just hope he doesn't get undercut by Sainz or Russell if he were to pit. We're going to box for the hard tire.
Okay, be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now.
Yep, we're on it. Don't speed, take it nice and easy. Right, lovely. Hit the 60. That's what we want. Hamilton is in with us. Lando stays out. Hopefully, Lando doesn't get undercut by Sainz. That's the one thing I'm worried about. As for the engine wear, you can see gearbox. I think we start to have gearbox trouble at 75%, but I'm not certain.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Very good first in though. Good race management. Did the right things at the right time. Hamilton's going to be out in traffic behind Paul Chair and Hulkenberg. I wonder if I could just get De Vries here and clear him, get him out of my way. We don't have a lot of straight line speed, so this may require a bit of a lunge. Like so. Right, we can now drive off. I don't know if we're going to get the extra point, but I'm now concerning myself with engine management. Just got to make sure we have, you know, no big issues. I think we can still have missing gears, even though we have mechanical failures turned off. But yeah, we're just going to try and make sure now we manage the rest of this race. Keen to see where Lando is when he pits his lap. If Hamilton's in traffic, if Lando has a good enough in-lap here, maybe may just get himself in the mix. You can see Paul Chair 2.8.
Okay, you've lost access to one of the gears. We've lost one of the gears due to a fault in the gearbox.
Wow, as I say that, lost fourth gear. That's a big gear to lose. Crucially, we've lost it after the pit stop, so we can just hold track position now. Have to try and do the best we can.
Lando's in the pits. Lando in the pits.
We'll get around it. We'll manage without it. This little bit of time loss for Hamilton has been key for us. Going to see if I can charge the battery up as well. That might be necessary to defend if the gearbox issue prolongs itself. Let's see where Lando is. I'm keen to see if he jumps Hamilton. I think he has, you know. Oh, no, he hasn't. I think Hamilton's just got him. Still, those guys on soft are still staying out, so we've got a bit of time on our side to manage this gearbox issue. Once the gearbox issue clears, we're going to have to push like crazy. If we want to pull away here, Hamilton now getting past Magnussen. Although Magnussen holds his own. This is good time loss for them. Oh, there we go. Fourth gear's back as we get a warning. Hamilton now up to third. Lando P4, he's got Sainz right behind him. Hopefully Lando can hold on. But crucially, fourth gear back, so we can now push on. Got to try and build a gap before we have another possible missing gear. There is plenty of time for that to happen. So gearbox issues seem to happen from 70% onwards, not 75. Alright, Checo in the pit lane. That gives us P1. Let's try and push for a new fast lap of the Grand Prix. We'll use up a chunk of the battery if necessary. Right then, really good lap on the limit, pushing really hard to see if I can try and get the extra point. 37.6, new benchmark. Let's see if we can bring home the extra point. That would be a real nice bonus. Lando's actually got some really good pace here on the hard tyre. He's cut the gap to Lewis from 2.5 seconds at one point after the pit stops to now pretty much a second, almost in DRS range. If Lando could somehow nick second, that would be insane. That would give us maximum points, and that would be huge. We could move up to third or even second in the Constructors' Championship with that, depending on what Ferrari do. Hamilton just managing the gap right now to Lando. Also Russell's P4 overtaking Sainz. Sainz has got some sort of issue or has a slight bit of damage, and Russell got past, and Sainz is holding up a train. But crucially, it's Mercedes versus McLaren, and in Lando's case, he's in a Mercedes sandwich. So good luck to him trying to manage that.
You're pushing too hard. It's causing your gearbox to take increased wear. Just be careful.
Never heard that one before. That's a new message. I am pushing pretty hard in case I get another missing gear, so I've got a cushion to manage. Looks to me like Lando's got DRS this time. He's close enough. The question is, does he have enough pace?
Turbochargers on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum.
Right, for the first time in a while, since the first stint, Lando's got DRS on Hamilton. But does he have the pace to pass him? That's the big question. Oh no, yellow flag. Who is it? Russell retired in the last race.
And some information on Leclerc. They're retiring from the race.
That's big. Big for the championship. Leclerc, one of our rivals, and also big in the constructors as well. Leclerc and the Aston Martin out of the race. No safety car, happy with that. Oh my god. Russell's out again. 2 in a row. The championship leader's out. Now that is a huge blow. Russell was about to catch Lando and Hamilton. That's massive for the championship. Hamilton will now be your new championship leader. Even if he finishes no, he's got to finish P2 for that to happen. But oh my god, if we win this race now, this becomes even more important. If we can get a 1-2, that would be incredible. Come on, Lando, please. Right, we're going to have to do a little bit of fuel management. We've just dipped into the negative, so we'll do a little bit of lift and coast. Hamilton is about to break DRS to Lando again.
We've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
So yeah, Lando fast, but not quite fast enough to challenge Hamilton. We're going to do a bit of fuel savings. Hopefully the gearbox holds up now for the last 2 laps. Here we go then. Last lap of the race. Fuel's going to be fine. We've managed it pretty well. Lando unable to get past Lewis Hamilton. Lewis is too fast. That Merc is very quick on the straight. Anyway, what a race. We got a 1-3 in the last one. Another 1-3 today. This time it's me ahead of Lando. So we share the points. Engine, job well done. We managed to get 1 more race out of the engine and gearbox, which is great for us in terms of reliability. And there we go. This is going to be a huge, hopefully 26 points as we win again in this career mode.
Fantastic drive, that's just fantastic, amazing, you deserved that race win, well done mate.
What a great race it's been then, another classic Singapore Grand Prix. And they've held on to take the checkered flag here today. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I feel consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
There we go then. Great day at the office. What a weekend. That qualifying lap was potentially the deciding factor. I had to get pole because the race pace was decent, but I don't know if I would have passed cars because I didn't have the straight line speed. So I knew I could stay ahead. I just didn't know if I could get ahead. And that was a real key moment in that, overall weekend, that qualifying session. And yeah, we also do get the extra point for the fastest lap. So happy days. What a result. A 1-3, back-to-back 1-3s for the team, which is awesome. So double podium. And yeah, Hamilton second, splitting the McLarens. Sainz, Ocon, Verstappen, Piastri, Perez, Gasly, Albon, your top 10. And then at the bottom, some big ones. Bottas, Leclerc, Russell. 3 huge retirements in that race. In the standings then, after that one, we're up to 3rd place now, and we have a 12-point gap over Max Verstappen. We are now within 2 race wins of new championship leader Lewis Hamilton. So potentially game on. Mercedes may need to drop the ball 1 or 2 more times for us to really get close. Lando up to P8, overtakes Sergio Perez and also puts daylight between himself and Oscar Piastri. There's a bit of a gap to Sainz, Bottas and Leclerc and co, but if we keep this up, Lando could potentially make it. And then in the constructors, we are now 2nd, so I thought we might be. and we are by a point over Ferrari. So what a weekend, guys. What a turnaround. Mercedes are a long way ahead. I don't think no one's going to touch them in the constructors, but we could well finish second, which would be a real nice cash flow boost for season 3. So yeah, guys, what a result. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. If we do that, that would be absolutely awesome. It shows me you guys are watching until the end. You're supporting the series and loving what we're doing here with this career mode. And yeah, it also really helps out the videos and the channel. So please, let's try and smash 1,000 likes. Subscribe if you're new, if you haven't done so already. We're trying to chase that 100k mark, as you know. And yeah, that would be awesome to hit this year. As always, a big shout out to the channel members for supporting me every single time. And as always, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. Guys, what a weekend. I can't wait to keep going and hopefully things improve. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.